Welcome to BIORATNA. Dear students, I am Chandana Sengupta. Today we are going to discuss class Reptilia. This word Reptilia, it comes from Latin repere or reptum, which means to crawl or to creep. So these are the organisms which either crawl or they creep. These are the first true terrestrial organisms. What do we mean by first true terrestrial organisms? Terrestrial vertebrates, I should say. These are the first true terrestrial vertebrates. Non-vertebrates में तो आपको terrestrial काफ़ी सारे मिल जाएंगे. In vertebrates, the first group, that was Agnatha. In this Agnatha, they were marine, the Petromyzon, the Myxine. For reproduction, they went to river, that also they are aquatic. Then in Pisces, you find the Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Osteichthyes is bony fish, and in the bony fish, there was one fish called lungfish, or it is also called lobed fin fish. What was typical about these lobed fin fish? They were thought to be extinct, but they are not extinct. They are still present. They are still found. So these lobed fin fishes, they have a particular, their fins, they were attached, the fins were attached to this lobed structure. And this is the fin. So they could come on the land with the help of the lobe. They could move around the land, then they went back to the water, and with the help of fins they swimmed. Means they are not true terrestrials. They visited land, but they are not true terrestrials. Then come to amphibia. These amphibians, we call them amphibia, means they are leading dual life. They have come to the land, but time and again they have to go back to the water, and for the reproduction they must go to the water because their eggs, they are very delicate. They do not have internal fertilization, so they have to release the gametes into the water, and then the fertilized egg, it is also not protected. It is also not protected like the egg of reptiles or aves. By a shell it is protected. It is not so in case of amphibia. So these eggs, they will dry up in the land due to sunlight, due to wind. So they will not survive. So they lay eggs in the water. Many of them are eaten up by the predators. Still many survive. So amphibia are also coming to and forth. They are visiting land as well as water. Whereas these reptiles, they are first true terrestrial vertebrates. This is because of their some characters, students. What are these characters? This is because of some characters. First is their cornified skin. Their cornified skin, their skin is keratinized. It becomes dead due to deposition of keratin, beta keratin, sometimes alpha keratin. So this skin, it provides protection to these reptiles from the environment. So this cornified skin they have, and the skin is covered by scales, as in case of the snakes or as in the case of the lizards also. Lizard or snake their body is covered with scales, or it may be covered with scutes, as in case of the turtles. Thus this is one of the characters because of which reptiles became successful to live on land. The second property, it is internal fertilization. दे शो इंटरनल फर्टिलाइजेशन. अब गमीट्स तो सबके ही सॉफ्ट ही होते हैं, बट when you otherwise how the fertilization will occur. But when the fertilization is taking place internally, then the gametes have the protection. So internal fertilization is there, and then the fertilized egg which is formed, it is covered by a hard shell, and then it is laid in a safe place on land. So now this egg which has the covering of a shell, so it is well protected. So it is well protected from sun, it is well protected from wind, and so it can be laid into some safe place. So this is internal fertilization. And the third is the shelled eggs. Shelled eggs of reptiles. Because of these three characters, they became successful on land. Fine. What about their limbs? When we say reptile, then the first organism which comes to our mind, it is snake. So wrongfully we get the idea that maybe all the reptiles, they do not have any limb. But the reptiles, they have two pairs of limbs. They have two pairs of limbs, one pair of forelimb, one pair of hind limb. Even the snakes, they had these two pairs of limbs, and then during this evolution, they secondarily lost their limbs. So limbs are present in case of the reptiles. Now about their hearing. Tympanum. They have the tympanum which represents the ear. बाहर से आप tympanum देख सकते हो. Tympanum का क्या significance आपको समझ में आया? In our case, you see, this is the pinna or external ear, this ear of ours, which leads into a canal, auditory meatus. एक canal है, vibrations यहाँ से होते हुए इस passage से होते हुए जाते हैं, and then here there is a drum. There is a membrane, and this membrane is tympanum. अब यहाँ से start होता है middle ear, then inner ear. In our case, middle ear, it has three ear ossicles, malleus, incus, stapes. Whereas in case of reptiles, middle ear has only the last ear ossicle, that is the stapes. So tympanum is present. And then the middle ear, the outer ear तो present है ही नहीं, इसका यहाँ से start होता है tympanum से, and then there will be these ossicles. So it starts with the tympanum, and then the another point in hearing is that middle ear consists of only stapes in middle ear, and the internal ear is present. तो इंटरनल ईयर भी है, मिडल ईयर भी है, मिडल ईयर में सिर्फ एक ईयर ऑसिकल है. कम टू देयर रेस्पिरेशन. द रेस्पिरेशन, इट इज बाय मीन्स ऑफ गिल्स. सॉरी, द रेस्पिरेशन इट इज बाय मीन्स ऑफ लंग्स. Respiration is by means of lungs, and these lungs are very well developed. These lungs are very well developed. Now come to their circulatory system. Circulatory system, the heart, it is what you will say 3.5 chambered. In fishes you saw कि it was one auricle, this was one auricle, this is one ventricle. This was in case of fishes. और fish में सिर्फ venous blood आ रहा था. The venous blood came to auricle, then it came to ventricle, from there it went to the gills. So heart was receiving only venous blood in case of Pisces. Then you come to amphibians. In case of amphibians, the auricles have become 2. तो ये 2 auricle हो गए, and the ventricle is 1. So there is एक valve है उसके पास continuous हिलते हुए, which is trying to stop the mixing of the blood. लेकिन वो कैसे रुकने वाला है? So the blood gets mixed up and this mixed blood is sent to the whole body. अब रेप्टाइल्स ने देखा कि ये तो गलत बात है, अगर मुझे पूरी तरह से ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड में बॉडी को दे सकता हूँ तो मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा एनर्जी मिलेगी, ज़्यादा ऑक्सीजन मिलेगा. सो नाउ इट हैज स्टार्टेड टू डिवाइड द वेंट्रिकल ऑल्सो इनटू 2. उससे क्या होगा, एक साइड से होते हुए सिर्फ प्योर ब्लड जाएगा, यहाँ राइट से होते हुए इम्प्योर और यहाँ लेफ्ट से होते हुए प्योर. देयर विल बी नो मिक्सिंग क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक पूरा वेंट्रिकल इज ऑल्सो डिवाइडेड. तो दिस प्योर एंड इम्प्योर ब्लड दोनों अलग अलग डायरेक्शन से निकल जाएंगे. बट काम इसने शुरू कर दिया लेकिन ये काम कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ. सो दिस इज इनकम्प्लीट सेप्टा. इन केस ऑफ रेप्टाइल्स दिस इज द इनकम्प्लीट सेप्टा. ये तो है ये वाला, दिस इज पाइसेस, दिस वन इज पाइसेस, दिस वन इज एम्फीबिया एंड दिस वन इज रेप्टिलिया. तो रेप्टिलिया में क्या देखते हैं हम कि ऑरिकल इज 2 in number. The ventricle, it is 1, but it has started the formation of forming the septa. But it is incomplete, so there is mixing of blood. Yes, there is mixing of blood. So heart is 3.5 chambered, we can say. And mixing of blood. Yes, mixing of blood is there. Mixing of blood is there. And they are showing double circulation. Double circulation में क्या होता है? This spices में this is single circulation. यहाँ तो venous blood सिर्फ आ रहा है. और when the pure blood and impure blood, they are following 2 different paths, 2 different chambers also in heart. और in aves and in mammals ये auricle भी 2 है, वेंट्रिकल भी 2 है. सो डबल सर्कुलेशन इज कंप्लीट. प्योर ब्लड एक साइड से निकल जाता है, इम्प्योर ब्लड एक साइड से. देयर इज नो मिक्सिंग. बट हियर इन केस ऑफ रेप्टाइल्स यू कैन सी दैट देयर इज मिक्सिंग ऑफ प्योर एंड इम्प्योर ब्लड इन वेंट्रिकल. सो द डबल सर्कुलेशन इज देयर बट डबल सर्कुलेशन इज इनकम्प्लीट. सो दिस डबल सर्कुलेशन is incomplete. Fine. And these reptiles, they are poikilothermic. Poikilothermic means cold-blooded. Cold-blooded means whatever is the temperature of the external environment, the body temperature also becomes the same. So they are poikilothermic. Digestive system में अगर आप देखते हो तो डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम इज कंप्लीट तो है ही. डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम पूरे एस्केलमेंथिस से लेते हुए कंप्लीट डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम स्टार्ट हो गया है, मीन्स हैविंग माउथ एज वेल एज एनस. एंड अनदर पॉइंट इज इट हैज क्लोएका. क्लोएका प्रेजेंट है. क्लोएका आपने कहाँ देखा था? क्लोएका आपने एम्फीबिया में भी देखा था. क्लोएका मीन्स इन अ सिंगल चेम्बर 3 openings are there. The digestive waste is also coming. The excretory waste, that is the from kidney, the urine is also coming, and the reproductive duct. All these 3 open into a common chamber. Then it is called cloaca, which then opens outside by cloacal aperture. This is called cloaca. Now come to the excretion. What about their excretory products? These excretory products, students, if the reptile is terrestrial, then it is uric acid. Then they are called uricotelic. These are uricotelic. And if they are aquatic, in that case it is urea. And the organisms are called ureotelic, like us. Ureotelic. You know, the nitrogenous waste, they can be excreted in 3 forms. One is ammonia. Ammonia requires large amount of water to get excreted. if the organism does not have that much access to water, then it changes ammonia into urea, like us also. So they are called ureotelic. And then if they have even less access to water, then they excrete uric acid, which needs very less water for excretion. So here terrestrial reptiles, they excrete uric acid, whereas the aquatic ones, they excrete urea. So reptiles are aquatic also. Means when we say that reptiles are true terrestrials, that does not mean that they are 100% terrestrial. That means they have all the adaptations so that they can live comfortably in terrestrial, that in land area. They do not have to go back to the water for reproduction or whatever. They are mostly terrestrial, but there are some aquatic reptiles also. There are aquatic snakes, there are aquatic turtles also, there are aquatic crocodiles also. Mostly terrestrial, some are aquatic, and if aquatic, in that case this waste matter is urea. If terrestrial, in that case it is uric acid. Now, what is molting? Molting, students, the reptiles, they can shade their skin. They can shade their skin, and this process of shading the skin is called molting. So why do they molt? And when they are shading the skin, so at that time, are they that vulnerable? Means they do not have any skin? No, it is not like that. Before shading the skin, they grow below the old skin, they grow a new skin. Then they shade the older one. So they shade their skin. This is for growth, means continuously they are growing. For growth, they have to shade off that skin and also to get rid of all the parasites which grow on their skin. For that, they do this shading of skin. Come to reproduction. Reproduction, they are unisexual. They show internal fertilization. All these characters, internal fertilization, are very important for their terrestrial mode. And then they lay eggs. They do not give birth to young ones. They lay eggs, and these eggs are shelled, protected by shell. And they have direct development. There is no larval stage. So this is direct development. Let us see their examples. One is turtle, then tortoise, garden lizard is there, and wall lizard, crocodile, alligator. What are their scientific name? This tortoise, it is testudo. This turtle, it is stylon. Garden lizard is calotus. Wall lizard is hemidactylus. This is hemidactylus. Crocodile is crocodilus. And alligator is alligator only. Alligator. I repeat, see. And here these common names, this should be written in bracket. Turtle is stylon, tortoise is testudo, garden lizard is calotus, wall lizard is hemidactylus, crocodile is crocodilus, and alligator is alligator. Then there are snakes also. The three examples of snakes are given. One is naja, this is cobra, then there is vipera, this is viper snake, and there is Bangarus. This is Bangarus. This is great. Bangarus is great. So, three types of snakes you are studying. One is Naja, that is cobra. One is Vipera, and one is great. So, this was all about the class Reptilia. Hope this session was useful to you in understanding the different properties of Reptilia and why they became successful on land. Our next session will be on aves and mammals. Hopefully you have liked the video. Then please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get all latest updates.